How did your casting for Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight come about? How did that come up?
Uh, okay, that's kind of funny. So Eric, they're casting this very important character, Maroney. They're casting him Maroney, and uh, will you read for it? Of course I will. I have no issues reading for it. Okay, put it on tape, and also dress it up, like wear what you wear as a costume, do the whole thing, props, blah blah blah, do it all. He wants to really feel that you give a crap about being in this movie. Okay. All right. So I did all that, blah, 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 did the copy, blah, 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 everything, blah, 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 sent it in. Didn't hear anything for a week. Didn't hear anything for 2 weeks. Did anything for a month. Did anything for 6 weeks. Did anything for 2 months. Like, I don't have this part. 4 months pass, and I hear, by the way, you got the part. I'm like, oh, cool. Huh. Well, when are we shooting? Well, and then I hear, but that's what it's like. You wait around up till they maybe want you, and that's what happened. And but if you're a movie geek, which I am, it had the greatest experience of my life in that we're told we're shooting all the Chicago stuff in Chicago and all the other stuff at Pinewood. That was not true. We shot all the Chicago stuff in Chicago, then all the Pinewood stuff was shot at the Zeppelin hangar 30 miles north of London. It's a hangar that's probably 3 football fields wide, probably 3 stories tall, and you walk into it and it's all Gotham City. Oh my God, it's a movie geek's paradise, dude. Oh, wow. It's so cool. And we shot there for months.
That is so nifty. So you were an active participant and witness to Heath Ledger's epic Joker entrance into the restaurant scene. From The Dark Knight. Had you seen Heath in his full makeup beforehand, or did he just come in like that and everybody had to react and respond? What do you remember about filming that scene?
Well, I had already worked with Heath a couple of times. You know, we knew each other off screen as acquaintances, and you know, he was a cool actor, and I've been told he's so into the part, you can't get close to him. Okay. But that wasn't true. He had humor. He had fun. In fact, he did that monologue when all the bad guys are all together. He did that monologue for the first time in a great line through, we call it. You know, he's doing words. And he gets through it and he turns to us and says, how am I doing? You're doing great, dude. And he was relaxed. He had real humor. He was cool. He was prepped. He was prepared. He was all things that you want. He just made a boo-boo, and that while he was taking a psychotropics, he took a sleeping pill and he went to sleep too much. And that's unfortunate. We miss him.
After that scene wrapped, did you feel like Nolan was capturing something special?
Chris Nolan, you know, the movie system is a fascist system. You have a dictator and everybody else. That's how it works. That's just what it is. And Chris Nolan is a dictator, and everybody works for him, and everybody works for him because they're good at what they do. That's why he hired them. So that's the vibe you get, and that's how you act. That's how you behave. And you know, he's a boss, man. He's God, and we're all his peeps. And you know, that's what we're here to do. What he needs. What do you need, dude? And that's what we do. And it's as simple as that. That's how it works best. And he's a great filmmaker. So we do a great job for him.
Well, and most people who I've heard listen to talk about him say he's the kind of director who you want to work with, and that his passion for cinema is pretty much infectious.
He's also sweet. He's not a tyrant. He's a sweet guy. He's like, you know, show me this or this. Show me this or that. Yeah, do this for me. Okay. He's a pleasure. Yeah. And also, he's got Emma, who works with him like my wife. Emma's kind of sort of his boss, as I even call my wife the boss. And, you know, yeah, they have a great relationship. They talk very straight to each other. I have heard Emma say to him, moving on is what it is.
So with over 700 film credits under your belt, you've worked with pretty much everybody in the business. You mentioned something about 6 degrees of separation earlier, and everybody talks about 7 degrees of separation with Kevin Bacon. But I bet you there's probably only 5 degrees of separation between you and everybody at this point, maybe 4. Out of all the memories you've made in the industry, is there an actor or actress who stands out to you the most from your experience with them? Somebody who either you learned something new or special or different from, far and apart from everybody else, or do you just get a little bit from people here and there and that kind of helps mold who you are as an actor?
I think it's a T.S. Eliot quote. I'm not sure, but it's a great quote. And it goes like this: young poets borrow, mature poets steal. Okay. I've stolen from everybody I've ever met. And it all started really with Sterling Hayden. Sterling Hayden was this big, strapping man with a big old beard. And he was told to shave his beard by Dino for the movie. And he said, no, I'm not shaving my beard. And Dino says, well, then I'm going to fire you. Well, you going to fire me. I'm not shaving my beard. And I'm like, wow, why won't he shave his beard? I'd shave my beard. But then he tells me in his trailer, smoking hash, he tells me, he totally freaked me out. He like sends for me the first time he worked. I'd been shooting for 3 weeks. It's my first night shoot, and it's with him. And he sends for me. And Sterling Hayden, how cool. And I go to his trailer, I'm a little nervous, knock on the door, come in, young man. I open the door, hashish smoke. I'm like, wow, this is not cool. I walk in, have a seat, young man. I do. I sit down, I'm scared to death. Says to me, you get high? I said, I've been known to. Want to get high? No, I can't get high and work. Well, I can. So what are we shooting tonight? I said, scene 87. I know the number. What happens? I'm a 20-year-old kid freaking out. Oh my God, this man is stoned. He's going to act with me and he doesn't know what we're shooting. Oh my God. I was freaked. So I tell him the scene and he goes, oh, it's a pivotal scene, is it? I said, yeah, it is. Okay. How in improvisation, young man? Oh, I'm okay with it. Good. That's what we're doing. I thought I was going to hell, but it was a great scene. It's great in the movie. I fell in love with it that night forever. And, we ended up having a relationship after that, and I just love that guy. That moment of fear and realization that I was dealing with a real talent. This is how he worked. Oh, my God. He's a real talent. I've seen this guy's work. This guy can act. This guy's a winner. This guy's scaring me. I was scared to death. That moment, all of it, is probably my most profound lesson in the human condition I've ever had.
Is there a director who stands out to you the most? I mean, you've worked probably with hundreds.
Of course there is. And his name was Bob Fosse. And that guy was a lesson in everything you wanted to learn about the self, about why and what when we do it. And he was a big chaser of reason. And I loved him like I love my family, completely, all day, every day.
This side of your career, and you mentioned your daughter, Emma, earlier. This side of your career, your daughter, Emma Roberts, is a working and successful actress in her own right. When did
Have you seen Maybe I Do?
Yes.
Isn't she remarkable?
Fantastic, incredible.
I know.
When did you first realize, or did she first tell you that she wanted to be an actress?
Johnny Depp and I worked together after he did 21 Jump Street. There was a part for Beverly D'Angelo's son, and I had a lot of scenes with him, so I had casting approval over the kid. And they said, "How about Johnny Depp?" I said, "Of course, Johnny Depp's great." And they brought him in to read how they do for HBO, you know. And so he did. He was great. He got the part. They asked me what I thought, and I of course approved him. But I but it was the director's choice, and he chose Johnny, and Johnny was great, and we got along fantastic. So it's kind of ironic. 6 Degrees of Separation. Again, my kid's first movie is a Johnny Depp movie, and she plays his daughter, who kind of is, walked across the screen looking sad, and that's her part. and she was not an actor, and but did that, and then out of that, basically caught some interest of some people, and ended up at 8½, with her own show on Nickelodeon called Unfabulous, and from there she became her own little star in her own right, and has now become a real movie star in her own right, and has also become a real actor, which maybe I do will prove. She's remarkable, and I just have never been prouder.
I mentioned the over 700 film credits. You're considered by many to be probably the most prolific actor in Hollywood. It honestly seems like you've never once let your foot completely off the gas. What has fueled your work through all these years, from Oscar-nominated films to every other kind of film imaginable? What has kept you going?
You risk sounding very la-di-da and fake here, but I'm not. This is a fact of reality. I have the best job on the planet, the best job there is, and I know that. And yet we went to digital, so we don't have film. So everybody with a camera became a studio. So everybody with a camera can cast who they want to cast in their movie. And they started calling me. And my wife says we get 30 offers a day from all over the world.
Is there anyone in the business that you're surprised you haven't worked with yet that you've always wanted to?
Quintin Tarantino.
I was going to ask you that exact question.
I've almost worked with him a bunch. We know each other. We like each other. I love him. He is so wonderfully, peculiarly brilliant. And, we're working up to it. We'll see.
Is there a type of role or character you've always wanted to play, but for one odd reason or another, haven't gotten a chance to play that type of character?
I want to play Nuriev. And I want to play Nuriev at the end of his life, because there was talk about me playing Nuriev about 12, 15 years ago. And then it went by the wayside. But I always held it. So I did lots of homework on him as a personality, him as a type, him as his background. So I know him. And I even learned to talk like him. He had this very peculiar sort of smoker's sort of very whiskey voice, very Russian, but very, very in the back of his throat, like he was suffering from cancer, even though he was not suffering yet from cancer. And I just love him. And he also was gay at a time when it was not cool, especially in Russia. Oh my God. And so he had to put up with that. And so I just want to explore that. I want to make an understanding of him that's yet to be understood. After
over 700 different productions, what is the one that's always going to stand out to you the most as you look back on it? Well, you mentioned Fosse earlier. Is it Star 80?
Well, when you've done that many, there's not just one. There are half a dozen. And there's King of the Gypsies. There is Star 80. There's Runaway Train. There It's My Party. There's Love is a Gun. And there's Purgatory. Those 6 movies make me cry to remember the experience I had with them. I love every other actor I was on screen with them. And there are parts of my life that made me who I am as an actor and a guy. And they're so precious to me. They're like my family.
Eric, thank you so much. I mean, this has just been fabulous and just so enjoyable.
I love your jacket and I love your background. You look great, dude.
Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, Eric Roberts.
Peace out.